everyone, welcome back. I'm Jacopo. I'm the owner of Eftilo and the designer of Scirocco. And in this last video I want to show you a bit around Scirocco's hidden panel. Scirocco's hidden panel can be opened by clicking on this caret here, and it comes with additional settings that I didn't think were worth putting on the front panel, but that can still be useful to change your sound. As we can see, starting from the left, the hidden panel has an input and output levels that can be used to distort more or less Scirocco, so to have a cleaner sound in case the input is reduced and the output is compensated by being turned up, or the opposite if the input is increased, so it will give a higher or a stronger distortion. Next, we can see the tone frequency and tone cue that can be used to focus the tone control on different frequencies to tailor your sound better for a guitar or for a bass or for a keyboard. And then we have additional settings that I will go through later. So if we start from the input and output level, this is just a standard preset that, or the default preset that Scirocco comes with. We can hear that there is already some distortion going on with the tone control, and I can reduce it by decreasing the input and compensating with the output level. Vice versa, if I want to make the unit distort more, I can increase the input and decrease the output accordingly. In this case, you hear more distortion going on. The next settings are the tone frequencies and cue. So let's go on a full dry signal that in this case will still process the tone control, but we won't hear any modulation going on. Let's put the tone control on a very dark tone. If we change the tone frequency, we can include more of the high frequencies that we lost. Vice versa, if we go on a brighter sound, we can include more of the low frequencies if we turn the tone frequency down. Vice versa, if we turn it all the way up. Let's maybe reduce the slope so the tone control will saturate less. If we go back on a darker sound and we increase the tone cue, that's what we hear. If we sweep the tone frequencies back and forth, we can hear that with maximum tone cue, the filter or the tone control is focused on a specific frequency range. The higher the tone cue, the more this focus will be pronounced. The lower the tone cue, the lower this focus will be pronounced. Let's go back on a more standard sound. And let's see at the latest settings that are present in this hidden panel. The LFO and random sync are quite easy, and they can be used to sync your LFO and random modules to your DAW transport. When the settings are off, the speed of the LFO and random modules are free running and can be chosen arbitrarily. When the LFO and random sync are on, the speed parameters will become multiplier or divider of the DAW frequency that you have set. The random bounce setting can be used to change the behavior of the random module. It's probably easier if I play it for you than explain it with words. Let's go on a full vibrato sound and only keep random modulation. Let's make the modulation a bit sharper. And let's make it a bit slower and more pronounced. As you can hear, the next value chosen by the random module is snapped as soon as the value is calculated. With the random bounce, instead of having this instant snap, we can make the random oscillate or bounce around this new value. So this is with the random bounce off. And this is with the random bounce on. As you can hear, the next value is not snapped to immediately, but it's bounced around. The speed of this bounce can be chosen with the random shape. The smoother the shape, the slower this bounce will be. The last two parameters in this hidden panel can be used to change the routing inside of Scirocco. The tone pre can be used to swap the order of the modulation engine and the tone control. In this case, the tone control is before the modulation engine. While if I turn the tone pre off, the tone control will be after the modulation engine. The difference is not that perceivable, but in some settings it can be useful in case more frequencies from the modulation engine are introduced and I want to remove them with the tone control. The last setting that we see in this hidden panel is tone dry, and it can be used to allow the dry signal to bypass the tone control, in case we want to just keep a darker sound for the modulation, but we want to keep intact the dry signal. Let's make an example. Let's go full dry. In this case, we won't hear the modulation. And with the tone dry on, the tone control will bypass the dry signal too. Let's make it a bit more apparent. You can hear that the sound is way dark because of the setting that I decided on the tone control. If I turn the tone dry off, the dry signal is bypassing completely the tone control. This can be useful to achieve different chorus effects in case I want a darker chorus where both the dry and the wet signal are darker. But if instead I want the dry signal that preserves all its frequency content, I can just deactivate the tone dry. So yeah, that was all also for this last video showing Scirocco's hidden panel. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one. Bye!